I'm with Mr. K.R. Lakhanpal, the former Chief Secretary of Punjab. He retired in 2007, was in service for over 35 years. And Professor Ranjit Singh Ghuman, currently the Professor of Eminence at the Guru Nanak Dev University. Former to that, he was at the Punjabi University in Patiala for over 30 long years, where he headed the economics department. And my colleague Ruchika Khanna, I'm Jyoti Malhotra at the Tribune. And I'd like to welcome you all to the show called Decode Punjab, where we take us the most important issue of our week, of the last few days, and discuss it threadbare. And who better than to have Professor Ghuman and Mr. Lakhanpal to this show. So welcome to the Tribune. And today we're talking about the Finance Commission. Now this can be a very dry topic, as you all know, ladies and gentlemen. The 16th Finance Commission, headed by Arvind Panagria, was in Chandigarh a few days ago, earlier this week. He met Chief Minister Bhagwant Mann as well as the Finance Minister Harpal Chima. But what are the issues in front of this Finance Commission? What is it that Punjab wants? We know that there has been a lot of talk about how Punjab is broke, the debt is really huge. But what does it all mean? So to explain this, I'd like to welcome you all once again. Mr. Lakhanpal, you've been Chief Secretary during the Captain Amrinder Singh eras. Now in today's Punjab, where things are far more difficult, it seems as if there is very little money in the state. What is your view on what the Chief Minister wants? He has asked for a package of 1.32 lakh crores. That's a lot of money, isn't it?
I think basic problem of Punjab's not only finances but development is that Punjab has not got out of the Balle Balle era.
What does that mean? What does Balle Balle era mean?
मतलब कि पंजाब चढ़दी कला असी sword arm of country, football of country, so on and so forth. Now, as they say, if you have a problem, the first step towards solving that is to acknowledge it, recognize it.
But I think that's what the Chief Minister is doing. He is saying that we have a lot of issues. That's why we want this kind of help from the centre. And why is it that the centre is not offering this kind of help? They are being very circumspect कि अच्छा देंगे नहीं देंगे आपका जो compensatory grant है GST वाला compensation grant, that's over, so they are taking their time. They're not offering the assurances that states want.
Now my counter to that is that while Punjab is fully entitled to ask for what is their right constitutionally from the Government of India, but Punjab also, and the Chief Minister particularly and his cabinet colleagues, recognize that solution to Punjab's problem lies here in Punjab, not in Delhi. Unless you begin from this, no help from Delhi is going to. You can present a bill of 1.5 lakh, 3 lakhs or 5 lakhs.
Right.
It keeps on increasing. Look back 30 years, 25 years, we have been presenting these bills. But to what avail? To
nothing happens. Professor Ghuman, what are your first comments on what Punjab wants, what the Finance Commission is hesitant to assure it of?
As a matter of fact, if you go back, we could not translate Green Revolution's benefits into non-agriculture sectors. That was the first beginning point. And I would like to say that our governments, successive governments, have always thought that color of Green Revolution will remain green, which I think towards the end of 80s or mid 90s, it started defading.
So today is the Green Revolution finally over?
In fact, Green Revolution, which was virtue for us, it is vice.
It's a vice now. It's become a vice.
Yeah.
It has become a problem at least.
ਸਾਡੇ ਲਈ ਫੰਦਾ ਬਣ ਗਿਆ ਇੱਕ ਔਰ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਸ ਚੋਂ ਨਿਕਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਕੇ। ਦੂਜੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਆਪਣਾ ਲਖਨਪਾਲ ਜੀ ਕਹਿ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਸਰਕਾਰਾਂ ਡਿਨਾਇਲ ਮੋਡ 'ਚ ਰਹੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਠੀਕ ਸੀ from 70 onwards to mid 90s, we were at the top in terms of growth rate, in terms of per capita income, and in terms of development index also. But the impact of militancy decade, for the first time it was seen from 92 onwards when decelerating growth rate started, and since then we could not cross the national average growth rate till date. That's second. Third is that we have a serious investment deficiency, जिसको बोलते हैं कि आपके निवेश तो हो नहीं रहा. If I recall and share with you that in 95-96 our investment GDP ratio was 30%, whereas that of Government of India's average was 22%. Later on, we started decelerating.
Sir, मैं आपको interrupt कर रही हूँ, माफ कीजिएगा. But the question is, आज की तारीख में, in today's Punjab, when the chief, I understand that you have a lot of issues over the last 40 years, but in 2024, when the chief minister says we want from the center, after all, it's 4 or 5 states. The RBI has said itself that Punjab is one of 5 or 6 states that has not been able to emerge from the GST, post-GST era, right? Now, if today Punjab says that we have all these issues, whether 40 years ago there was terrorism, you're saying that the Green Revolution has become a phanda, a noose around your neck. So what, then would you not understand what the Chief Minister is saying today, Mr. Lakhanpal?
Well, I do understand there's a problem.
There is a problem.
There's a problem, and center must come in. Like, for example, coming down to this phanda of Green Revolution. Now, after all, economic agents, they respond to incentives and disincentives. When Government of India came up with a policy in the 60s about food security, we knew as school-going kids, we used to live from ship to mouth, PL 480 and so on and so forth. Now, Punjab says that we have provided food security
to the entire country.
To the entire country, and at the invitation of the Government of India for providing food security to the country.
So can I interrupt you here? Now the Government of India has changed its stand, over the past 4 or 5 years. They actually do not want Punjab to continue producing paddy and wheat. They've been saying that, we do not want your paddy and wheat, you going for crop diversification. FCI's procurement in Punjab has actually been rapidly coming down. FCI's own procurement.
I'm coming to that. Yeah. I'm coming to that.
Okay.
Now what happens is, Punjabi farmer, they'll respond to new incentives. When you say, Ruchika is saying, well, now we don't need paddy or wheat to be grown in Punjab, particularly paddy. But what do the Punjabi farmer do? 45% of the workforce is still sitting on the land. What do they do if they don't grow paddy, which is at least giving them some assured level of income? Now, can the Government of India, it is not going to happen overnight. We are talking, yapping about it for the last 30 years. Diversification. It's a beautiful word. But how do we go about it? Let's break it into what would it take to achieve diversification, and diversification towards what? We say it should be pulses, it should be oil seeds, it should be maize, it should be cotton, it should be this, it should be that. But has anybody come up with a blueprint as to, well, we assure Punjabi farmer, if you switch over to this, your income would be protected?
The Government of India has just given a scheme, launched a scheme under which they've said that Punjabi farmers who do not go in for paddy will get 17,500 rupees per hectare as compensation.
This is Government of India.
This is
Government of India.
No, this is Government of
India.
Now
the Government of India has come up.
They had given this scheme to the Government of Punjab. The Government of Punjab acknowledged it and just announced it a few days back. So don't you think that is good enough incentive? Because farmers will also get income from the other cash crops they grow. Plus, they also get incentivized by, it works out by 7,000 rupees per acre.
It's a good beginning to make.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think anybody, again, as they say, the devil lies in details. Somebody has to be detailing of this. I am laying a principle that if you want me as a farmer you want to be weaned away from paddy, say, I am getting X income from paddy today. Are you assuring me that with a increase of such and such, as you showed as you assure the states, if you switch over to GST, we'll take care of your losses for 5 years and we'll assure a growth of 14% on your revenues. And all states came on board. What incentive the government of India is giving for weaning Punjab away from paddy?
So, Professor Ghuman, मैं आपको तानु ये पूछना चाहती थी कि the government of India, Finance Commission chair, Mr. Panagria is saying कि पंजाब के अंदर too much subsidy, power subsidy, 300 units for urban households, 8 hours free power to all rural households.
90% is free power. Yeah, if you sell 100 units, 90 is free, only 10 are free.
So, the question to you is, should you reduce the subsidies? Should you eliminate the subsidies? What should Punjab do?
ਕਮਿਸ਼ਨ ਨੇ 16ਵੇਂ ਕਮਿਸ਼ਨ ਨੇ ਇਹ ਪੁਆਇੰਟ ਰੇਜ਼ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੈ, ਪਰ ਨਾਲ ਹੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦਾ ਆਪਣਾ ਮਸਲਾ ਹੈ, ਘਟਾਉਣ ਜਾਂ ਨਾ ਘਟਾਉਣ। ਪਰ ਮੇਰੀ ਪਬਲਿਕ ਪੋਜੀਸ਼ਨ ਇਹ ਹੈ, ਨਾਟ ਫਰੋਮ ਟੂਡੇ, ਫॉर द ਲਾਸਟ ਸੋ ਮੈਨੀ ਈਅਰਸ, ਡਿਕੇਡਸ, ਫਰੀਬੀਜ਼ ਕੇਵਲ ਤੇ ਕੇਵਲ ਟਾਰਗੇਟਡ ਹੋਣੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਹੈ, ਸਬਸਿਡੀ ਵੀ ਟਾਰਗੇਟਡ ਹੋਣੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਹੈ। ਔਰ ਸਬਸਿਡੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਇਕਨੋਮਿਕ ਥਿਊਰੀ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਹੀ ਦੱਸਦੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਸਬਸਿਡੀ ਜਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਉਸ ਨੂੰ ਦਿਓ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪਰਚੇਜਿੰਗ ਪਾਵਰ ਤੇ ਖਰੀਦ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਕਦਾ, ਫ੍ਰੀ ਉਸ ਨੂੰ ਦਿਓ, ਜਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਬਸਿਡੀ ਉਸ इनोवेशन ਨੂੰ ਦਿਓ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਡਿਵੈਲਪਮੈਂਟ ਚ ਆ ਸਕਦੀ ਹੈ।
नहीं तो फिर आप क्या कह रहे हैं कि आज की तारीख में is it the rich Punjabi farmer that is getting the subsidy?
It's on record. Ruchika did a story, first page story on the Tribune some time back. 81% free power goes to rich farmer. That was the title. So
should you say, will you say today that rich farmers in Punjab should not get subsidy?
I would like to say like that.
I'll have a different take on that. Let him finish.
Ji.
No, just see. This farmer community, it was first proposed up to 7.5 acres. I would say let it be 10 acres. Beyond 10 acres, there should not be any subsidy. Or you can rationalize it by giving one subsidy to one electric motor. That's all.
Not 5 or 10.
Not 5 or 10 or all that. And I have worked on it. Water issues. 40% of the marginal farmers do not have electric motors. And on the, I would like to spell out on this diversification. It was for the first, 2010 was the first year when the government of India wrote to the government of Punjab that you shift some area out of paddy, shift करिए।
सर आप बताइए।
कल सरमन्स दिए हैं।
जी।
मैं कहना कि पंजाब ਦੇ ਫਾਰਮਰਸ ਨੇ ਪੈਡੀ ਆਪ ਨਹੀਂ ਡਿਵੈਲਪ ਕੀਤੀ, ਪੰਜਾਬ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਨੇ ਆਪ ਡਿਵੈਲਪ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤੀ। ਪੰਜਾਬ ਵਿੱਚ 1970-71 ਚ 9% ਏਰੀਆ ਸਿਰਫ ਪੈਡੀ ਥੱਲੇ ਸੀ, ਹੁਣ ਕਿਉਂ 75% ਹੈ? ਇਹ ਮੈਂ ਕਹਾਂਗਾ ਕਿ ਗਵਰਨਮੈਂਟ ਆਫ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਨੇ ਇੱਕ ਪਾਲਿਸੀ ਰਜੀਮ ਲਿਆਂਦਾ, ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਇਨੇਬਲਿੰਗ ਐਨਵਾਇਰਨਮੈਂਟ ਕੀਤਾ। 1 ਮਿੰਟ, ਇਨੇਬਲਿੰਗ ਐਨਵਾਇਰਨਮੈਂਟ ਬਣਾਇਆ ਔਰ 2010 ਤੋਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਹੁਣ ਤੱਕ ਗਵਰਨਮੈਂਟ ਆਫ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਸਰਮਨਸ ਦੇ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ, ਇਨੇਬਲਿੰਗ ਐਨਵਾਇਰਨਮੈਂਟ ਪਾਲਿਸੀ ਰਜੀਮ ਨਹੀਂ ਲਿਆ ਰਹੀ। ਇਹ 2017 ਚ ਮੈਂ ट्रिब्यून फिर भी लिखा।
Sir, आप बताओ।
That is what I fully agree with him. What he said later on,
okay.
And I am saying the same thing. कि diversification is a beautiful word. To tell Punjabi farmer कि हम तुसी कपाल जाओ, जेब जाओ, वो करो, diversification करो is beautiful. But has anybody laid a blueprint कि Punjabi farmer ਨੂੰ ਉਹਦੀ income ਕਿੱਦਾਂ protect ਕੀਤੀ ਜਾਏਗੀ? Second thing which I want to say,
ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਦੱਸੋ ਕਿ ਸਬਸਿਡੀਜ਼ ਖਤਮ ਹੋਣੀ
ਚਾਹੀਦੀ। ਮੈਂ ਦੱਸਣਾ ਜੀ ਹੁਣ। ਦੂਜੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਮਿਸਟਰ ਘੁੰਮਣ ਕਹਿ ਰਹੇ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਜੀ ਰਿਚ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਫਾਰਮਰ, I don't know how he defines rich Punjabi farmer.
I would like to say every farmer who has more than 10
acres of land.
And I would like to say that plow back what is saved on that, plow back the same amount in villages.
Okay, so more than 10 acres of land is a rich farmer.
Now, would Mr. Ghuman tell me कि more than 10 acres, what is the income which farmer earns from this holding? Nothing. Nothing.
ਤੁਸੀਂ ਤਾਂ defend ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ rich Punjabi farmer.
No, I am not defending rich Punjabi. No, I am defending Punjabi farmers in general, Because
but you are the Punjab.
no, coming to the subsidies.
Yes.
As a student of economics,
Yeah.
let me tell you this, because although is a professor of economics, Ghuman is a professor of economics, I am a student of economics, and I still remain a keen student of economics.
Okay.
We are
But
told,
what is the question of the
we are
subsidies?
told
Yeah.
that input subsidies are distortive. Now, input subsidy, electricity subsidy, by conception is distortive, and it should be done away with. But it should be substituted with income support to the farmers.
So can Punjab do that, or is Punjab no? The question the question is Punjab government may want to do that, but it's broke. It has no money to do that.
No, but that's why you should ask the government of Punjab, government of India,
yes,
part of diversification.
ਜੋਤੀ ਜੀ ਇੱਕ ਗੱਲ ਮੈਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦਾ ਕਿ ਪੱਲੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਧੇਲਾ
ਕਰਦੀ
ਕਰਦੀ
ਮੇਲਾ ਮੇਲਾ
ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਾਂ ਕਿਤੇ ਵੀ ਹਿੰਦੁਸਤਾਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਾਂ ਦੁਨੀਆ 'ਚ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰੀ ਸਬਸਿਡੀ ਫ੍ਰੀ ਵੀ ਦੇ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਵਿਦਡਰਾ ਕਰਨਾ ਨੈਕਸਟ ਟੂ ਇੰਪੋਸੀਬਲ ਸੈਕੰਡ ਮੈਂ ਕਹਾਂਗਾ ਕਿ ਚਲੋ ਫਾਰਮਰਸ ਨੂੰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਨਸੈਂਟਿਵ ਦੇ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਇਹ ਕੀ ਲੌਜਿਕ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਹਰ ਵਿਅਕਤੀ ਨੂੰ 300 ਯੂਨਿਟ ਬਿਜਲੀ ਫ੍ਰੀ
ਦਿਓ
ਇਹਦਾ ਕੋਈ ਲੌਜਿਕ
हिमाचल प्रदेश
Ruchika, why don't you say
So I was saying sir कि हिमाचल प्रदेश गवर्नमेंट ने जब फाइनेंस कमीशन वहाँ पर जाकर आया उसके बाद हिमाचल प्रदेश गवर्नमेंट ने विड्रॉ कर लिया है सेइंग कि टैक्स पेयर जो हैं उनको हम नहीं देंगे। जो पिछली सरकार थी उसमें एक एग्रीकल्चर डेट वेवर स्कीम लाई गई थी, उसमें भी जो रूल्स बने थे वो उसमें बिल्कुल क्लियर था कि जो इनकम टैक्स देता है, जिसके पास गाड़ी है, जिसके पास सरकारी नौकरी है, जिसको पेंशन सरकारी मिलती है, they will not be getting this loan.
No, but Mr. Lakhanpal, what Ruchika is saying is that the government of Himachal Pradesh, Mr. Sukhu, the chief minister, has withdrawn the power subsidy now, this week, last week.
Jyoti, I am on a different footing.
But why is
I
it
am
that
saying that conceptually input subsidy should be done away altogether.
Yeah.
Not only for 300 units and income tax payee and this thing. And it should be substituted by a suitable detailed model scheme of income support to farmers. There you can modulate it, that the poor farmer gets better support, rich farmer gets less support. There you can do the distributive justice as well. You say a farmer who is getting say less than 2 lakh rupees income a year, he'll be getting this much. And a person who is getting 5 lakhs or something.
Let it be segmented.
No, but Professor Ghuman, can I just say that if I'm the Chief Minister of Punjab, which I'm not, there is a Chief Minister, a fully elected Chief Minister.
Mercifully.
He is saying, mercifully, he is saying that, and who doesn't want subsidy? If I get 300 units of free bijli, I will take it. I will vote for the Aam Aadmi Party.
Yes.
But today in Delhi, for example, it's not 300 units, it's 200 units.
Yes.
So the question is that on the one hand, you do want to come to power, and there's nothing wrong with that. But how is it that, so when the government is broke, Ruchika, what is, so can you explain to us why is it that Punjab is not willing to do what Himachal is, for example, doing or has
because
done?
Punjab, it's all politically, it's all politically driven. We have elections to 4 assembly constituencies this year. We also have the Panchayat and the Zilla Parishad and the Block Samiti elections. And we also have elections to 5 municipal corporations. So that is probably the reason that nobody wants to take a stand.
Nobody wants to bite the bullet.
Nobody wants to bite the bullet.
That you were Principal Secretary Finance during the Parkar Singh Badal regime. Must have been as tough with him as you were with Captain Amrinder Singh later.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So when the question, it was Parkar Singh Badal who began the power subsidy. What did you say to him when he started it? Did you say, no, you should do it?
First time it was initiated by Mrs. Pattal.
All right. So
and
did
she
you
lost.
In the run-up to 97, she
lost.
lost. Then Mr. Badal deepened it further.
And they lost.
Then they lost.
They lost the next.
So and what is the moral of the story?
Aam Aadmi Party got 3 seats now.
Dr. Ghuman, may I? In 2002, when Captain Amrinder Singh government came, let me tell you this. Again, no way blowing your own trumpet. For the first time, Punjab had a revenue surplus after 84-85. It was in 2006-2007.
When Captain Amrinder Singh
was
came
the
to power?
Minister. No, when he
relinquished power, when he lost the election.
When he lost the election. Okay. Now, when Amrinder Singh came, he appointed me as Principal Secretary Finance. We gave him a charter of how to improve the finances. And to his credit, I must say, he and his cabinet colleagues fully listened to it, and we were able to improve finances across the board. And for the, let me also tell you, the power subsidy was withdrawn.
Under Captain Amrinder
Yes.
Singh's,
For a couple of years.
For 3 years.
Yes,
3 years
it's
it was
on record.
withdrawn.
It's on
But
record.
then why did it come back? Why did it come back?
Then they have to face elections. And let me tell you
And they
this, I
lost.
don't want to make it personal. Then, after 3 years, when finances improved and all that, one day the Chief Minister was in Delhi, I was also in Delhi for a meeting, and then over a drink, he tells me, Lakhanpal, you did a wonderful work. But now, for the last 6 months, any MLA or any party man or anybody who meets me, it is Lakhanpal who is standing between Punjab and its development.
So
what
now-
I do?
So now Mr. Lakhanpal and Captain Amrinder Singh, over a drink of water or Nimbu Pani, decided that this is what they must do with the question of the subsidies. My question is, today in Punjab, you talked about, Professor Ghuman, about the terrorist problem of the 1980s. That was one big issue. So what are the big issues today that you would say are facing the state today?
Industrial index, we are lagging. Growth rate, we are lagging. Per capita income, we are lagging. And the 3-4 major problem of the state are that we are not in a mode of development. We have shifted our priority from development to security and law and order, one. And we have not reversed it.
From development to security.
Security, yeah.
From a development state, Punjab has become a security
And
state.
I would like to share one figure only. In 80s, 20% of our budget used to go to education and health socials. Now it's 13%. And 70%, more than 60% of the budget, Mr. Lakhanpal has been Secretary Finance. 60% of the budget was on development. Now it's less than 50%.
So, sir, can I intervene here and ask you that, when the Finance Commission came, there are certain assurances that the Punjab government has given to the Finance Commission so as to get the development grant of 1.32 lakh crore. So, the assurances given were that they want to reduce the debt to GSDP ratio by 1 to 1.5%. They will also spend 1.5% of the GSDP on capex. Building
Capital expenditure.
on building assets for the state. Do you think in today's limited fiscal space, is that possible for the Punjab government to do this? So my question to both of you is that Punjab is an extremely debt-stressed state. That is recognized by the RBI and by different commissions all over. My question is that can Punjab reduce its debt burden? Number one. And also, can Punjab start building its assets?
Ruchika, I have always advocated if you want to teach a child who's spoiled child, you have to give a hard budget option to Government of Punjab. You tell me, why the entire Punjab suffer and government employees should take away a large chunk by way of pensions and salaries? Salaries of comparable posts in Punjab are 40% more than that of anywhere in the central government even.
Anywhere in the country?
But I would
Just
like
one
to
second.
add.
Jahanji.
I would like to add.
Huh.
He will bear me out that share of salaries in the budget has gone down over the period.
Because the number of people have
has
come
gone down.
Because
the
you are
number
not
of
filling up the
employees-
vacancies.
It's again,
you're not
it's
filling up the
misnomer.
vacancies.
Misnomer.
No, he's
No, it
saying
is not a misnomer.
not because salaries have come down,
Absolutely.
but because you're not filling the
Why
empty
should you
vacancies.
pay?
No, no.
Why should you pay a common clerk
I-
40% more, a common peon or a common constable 40% more, whereas we are not paying anything to our doctors. We are not paying anything to our engineers. And
So
that is
it's
why-
very skewed.
That is why
It's
you are
highly
getting
skewed.
rubbish.
In fact, I would like to supplement and
That's why we are getting
with
rubbish.
him. For the last more than 13, 14 years, we have started employment on basic pay. When he talks of
Basic pay,
doctors in
3
TCS
years.
or Rajin, that is the worst employment model. Government is model employer and government must
Change that.
change it. One, when Ruchika ji, when you were saying that why this problem, Mr. Lakhanpal chaired the Finance Commission, and I was special invitee member.
Part of the
Only
same.
for 3 years.
Only for 3 years, up to 20.
When I headed the
And
Finance Commission.
he used to listen to me. I'm grateful to
He
him.
used to listen to you.
I would like
We
to say.
hope you're still listening to him, sir.
And second, he was very magnanimous to tell that good economics must prevail. One. Second is that in one meeting, I raised a consolidated fund on consolidated, how consolidated fund of the state can be raised. Out of my rough work, I said 15,000 crores can be added to the consolidated fund of the state without imposing any new tax.
Okay, Ruchika, you have a question?
I
to
just
ask?
have one question. Since so you headed the Punjab Finance, the 6th Punjab Finance Commission, and you were a special invitee there. So have the recommendations, especially for devolution of funds to the rural and the urban local bodies, have they been implemented? Because these
well,
bodies continue to be
the
starved of
last
funds.
I saw the budget was that they have implemented it. At least their explanatory memorandum and the action taken report which the table on the table of the assembly last, it was that they have implemented, and I have read their action taken report. They have almost virtually accepted all the recommendations made by the commission.
Including the devolution of funds, because
Yes,
that is
yes,
one.
yes.
I remember that Captain Amrinder Singh, when he was the chief
Yes,
minister
yes,
last time,
yes.
he did not agree to
They
that.
no, they agreed to it, but I don't know what is the implementation thereafter.
But they have agreed.
They have agreed.
ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਮੈਂ ਇੱਕ ਗੱਲ ਕਹਿਣੀ
Hanji, ਦੱਸੋ.
ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿੰਮੇਵਾਰੀ ਨਾਲ ਇਹ ਗੱਲ ਕਹਿ ਰਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੀ ਪੋਲੀਟੀਕਲ ਕਲਾਸ ਅਕ੍ਰੋਸ ਦਾ ਪਾਰਟੀਜ਼ ਐਂਡ ਲਾਰਜ section of the bureaucracy and large section of academia. They have abandoned Punjab, and there is policy
Illiterate. They are only feathering their own cap.
Who is an illiterate?
the power elites in this country?
Sir, KD power elite, sir.
Bureaucracy the hall dekh lo. Look at their domain knowledge. You look at the way they are clued up. I tell you, 31,500 crore of debt government of Punjab took over on its books with one stroke of pen on the 10th of March 2022. 10th of March 2017 to cover the gap between what they have availed of bank credit to buy the food grains and what they had stored value of food grains in the stocks.
So they should not have done that.
Because I have written a whole paper on this, that this gap is threefold. It is due to three reasons. One is the malfeasance on the part of the government of Punjab, diversion of funds and so on and so forth. Second is the unlevel playing field between the government of Punjab agencies and the central agencies. And the third is the banks giving higher charging higher interest for giving loan to Punjab, contrasted to what they are giving to FCI. And at the level of the Prime Minister, a meeting was held, and this gap was to be shared three-way between the Government of India, Government of Punjab and the banks. But in their hurry, so that there is no CBI inquiry or something, the then government took it over. And now 31,000 crore, 31,500 crore debt asset suddenly.
Okay.
Then this power scheme, another 15,000 crore of debt of the electricity board were taken over. This is how your debt has piled. Third thing is, now the government of India, they are squarely guilty under Article 293. They are supposed to accord approval to the government of any state for raising loans from the market if they owe anything to the government of India. Government of Punjab owes a lot to the government of India, and therefore before they raise any money via bonds and all that, they have to seek approval of the government of India under Article 1.
So I will once again intervene here.
Now what happens is, there is a virtual guarantee by the government of India for any loan which the government of Punjab takes. Now while according approval, why the government of India doesn't say, what have you done to the earlier loans? You have squandered it on subsidies and salaries on other
But that is what the 16th Finance Commission is saying. That's what Mr. Panikia is saying.
ਤੇ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਚਾਹਾਂਗਾ
ਹਾਂਜੀ।
ਕਿ ਮੇਰੀ ਅੰਡਰਸਟੈਂਡਿੰਗ ਇਹ ਹੈ कि now it is history.
नहीं हिस्ट्री ਦਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਗੱਲ ਕਰੋ ਨਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ
but you are carrying the history historical baggage.
Getting into that, but whatever Punjab's desalination, it is history. But what we are doing now, are we responding to the situation?
But so we are living in this history.
That's number one. Second is, ਪਿਛਲੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ ਸਾਲਾਂ ਤੋਂ I have worked out about decades ਤੋਂ ਸਰਕਾਰਾਂ ਕਰਜ਼ਾ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਕੰਮ ਚਲਾ ਰਹੀਆਂ ਨੇ। ਜਦੋਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਸਟੇਟ ਦਾ ਰੈਵਨਿਊ ਡੈਫੀਸਿਟ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਨਾ ਵੱਧਦਾ ਹੈ, ਉਹ ਬੜਾ ਖਤਰਨਾਕ ਕੰਮ ਹੈ।
Sir, allow me to ask you.
मतलब overall budget deficit.
Let her ask you a question.
Yeah. So let me ask you.
But revenue deficit is very serious problem, and there is a policy paralysis in Punjab. And what is needed is to first admit, come out of the denial mode, have a roadmap.
So the last question is that there's a lot of political noise about unfair treatment being meted out to Punjab by the centre. A lot of dues that Government of India owes to Punjab, they are stopped. And also now that the budget just came in, special economic packages were given to Bihar and to Andhra Pradesh, but there was nothing to Punjab. So I mean, just one last comment from both of you on this, sir.
Well, Jyoti, which government says, state government says, that the government of India is treating them fairly, and the government of India is very liberal.
Well, Andhra Pradesh and Bihar got what
they
they wanted.
For the time being, I am coming to that.
That was
This is a very bad precedence, which should not be there, because the basic principle of federalism is that the devolution of funds from the centre to the states must be under the constitutional.
So how should Punjab make itself heard much more? It
should not be left to the discretion of the government of India. It should be constitutional.
You cannot tell Prime Minister Modi that he should do what you want him to do. Therefore, Punjab has to make a noise. How can Punjab make that noise?
What Modi is giving to anybody is not giving a kharat. Prime Minister is not giving a kharat. Government of India it is our right. It is our right.
What should we do? ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੀਆਂ ਪੋਲੀਟੀਕਲ ਪਾਰਟੀਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਐਮਐਲਏ ਇੱਕ ਲੌਬਿੰਗ ਕਰਨੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਹੈ ਔਰ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਪੈਕੇਜ ਡਿਜ਼ਰਵ ਕਰਦਾ ਹੈ ਐਜ਼ ਇਕਨੋਮਿਸਟ ਆਈ ਨੋ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਡਿਜ਼ਰਵ ਕਰਦਾ ਹੈ ਸਾਡੇ 7 ਜ਼ਿਲ੍ਹੇ ਬਾਰਡਰ ਏਰੀਆ 'ਚ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਓਪਰਚੁਨਿਟੀ ਲਾਸ ਅਸੀਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ ਇਨਵੈਸਟਮੈਂਟ ਸਾਡੀ ਉੱਥੇ ਹੋ ਨਹੀਂ ਰਹੀ ਔਰ ਵੀ ਆਰ ਲੈਗਿੰਗ ਬਿਹਾਈਂਡ ਦੂਸਰਾ ਸਾਡਾ 5 ਸਾਲਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਵਾਘਾ ਬਾਰਡਰ ਬੰਦ ਪਿਆ ਹੈਗਾ ਟ੍ਰੇਡ ਦਾ ਬਾਕੀ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕੰਟਰੀ ਆ ਉਹ ਤਾਂ ਕਰੀ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਵਾਇਆ ਥਰਡ ਕੰਟਰੀ ਪੋਰਟ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਨੇੜੇ ਆ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਟਰਾਂਸਪੋਰਟ ਕਾਸਟ ਟਰਾਂਸਸ਼ਿਪਮੈਂਟ ਕਾਸਟ ਬਹੁਤ ਮਹਿੰਗੀ ਪੈਂਦੀ ਹੈ ਐਂਡ ਵੀ ਆਰ ਸਫਰਡ ਔਰ ਹਰ ਸਾਲ ਆਈ ਹੈਵ ਵਰਕਡ ਆਊਟ ਪਿਛਲੇ 5 ਸਾਲਾਂ 'ਚ 7100 ਕਰੋੜ ਦਾ ਨੁਕਸਾਨ Punjab ਨੂੰ ਹੋ ਚੁੱਕਾ
71,000 crores lost to Punjab because Wagah border is closed.
Only on this.
But then there is this question of drugs that Pakistan is sending to you.
No.
And
you see,
even today it's coming via drones. There's a lot of money being spent on drug enforcement.
Was it not there when the Wagah border was open for trade?
Maybe it was less. We don't know.
No, it can't be left to that.
But that is out of the GDP calculus.
So it is not the case. I think Punjab deserves a case. Wagah border area, Kandi area, and the soil reclamation and water problem.
Okay, last comments, Mr. Lakhanpal.
And investment deficiency also.
Yeah, last comments. How do you think
with due regards and respect to everybody and government of Punjab particularly, it is sooner the better. They recognize what Punjab is facing. Punjab is going downhill, and the compliment may be taken by anybody who deserves it or doesn't deserve it. But recognition is very important.
Okay.
And second thing is that Punjab cannot continue to live on borrowed money. You have to face sooner or later a hard budget option to generate fiscal muscle to mount a credible development effort.
Now can you say the
business
same
as
thing now?
usual नहीं
चलना business.
ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਤਾਂ with due regards ਪੰਜਾਬ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਨੂੰ ਸਾਰੇ ਪੰਜਾਬੀਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਨੂੰ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੇ ਨਿਗਰਤਾ ਦੀ ਦੌੜ ਲੱਗੀ ਹੋਈ ਹੈ ਰੇਸ ਟੂ ਦੀ ਬਾਟਮ ਜਿਹਨੂੰ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਉਸ ਨੂੰ ਰੈਕਗਨਾਈਜ਼ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਔਰ ਉਹਦੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਾਰਨ ਹਨ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਰੈਕਗਨਾਈਜ਼ ਕਰਕੇ ਡਾਇਗਨੋਜ਼ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਔਰ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਭੁੱਲ ਜਾਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਰਜ਼ਾ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੀ ਡਿਵੈਲਪਮੈਂਟ ਕਰ ਲਾਂਗੇ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਨੂੰ ਫਿਰ ਇੱਕ ਪ੍ਰੋਸਪੈਰਸ ਸਟੇਟ ਬਣਾ ਲਾਂਗੇ ਜਾਂ ਭਾਰਤ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਤੋਂ ਪੈਕੇਜ ਮੰਗ ਕੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੀ ਡਿਵੈਲਪਮੈਂਟ ਕਰ ਲਾਂਗੇ। ਨਾ,
ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਚੱਲ ਸਕਦਾ,
ਇੱਦਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਚੱਲ ਸਕਦਾ।
ਅੱਛਾ, ਤੁਸੀਂ
ਮੈਂ ਇਹ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਚਾਹਾਂਗਾ ਕਿ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਨੂੰ ਇੱਕ ਆਪਣਾ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਮੰਥਨ ਸਾਰੇ, ਕਿ ਲੋਕ ਫ੍ਰੀ ਵੀ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਖੁਸ਼ ਨੇ, ਸਰਕਾਰ ਫ੍ਰੀ ਵੀ ਦੇ ਕੇ ਖੁਸ਼ ਹੈ, ਪਰ ਵੈਲਫੇਅਰਿਜ਼ਮ ਤਾਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਜੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਕਿੱਟੀ 'ਚ ਪੈਸੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ। 1 ਸੈਕੰਡ, ਫਜ਼ੂਲ ਦਾ ਵੈਲਫੇਅਰਿਜ਼ਮ ਮੈਂ ਉਸ ਦੇ ਉਲਟ ਹਾਂ, ਔਰ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਫ੍ਰੀ ਵੀ ਅੱਜ ਲੈ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਕੱਲ੍ਹ ਨੂੰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਪ੍ਰੋਬਲਮ ਆਉਣੀ ਆ ਕਿ ਫ੍ਰੀ ਵੀ ਕਿਤੇ ਦੁਨੀਆ 'ਚ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੇ, ਅਤੇ ਫ੍ਰੀ ਵੀ ਤੋਂ ਅਨਡਿਜ਼ਰਵਿੰਗ ਫ੍ਰੀ ਬੀਜ਼ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਭਿਖਾਰੀ ਬਣਾ ਸਕਦੇ ਨੇ। ਅਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਲਾਸਟ ਇਹ ਵੀ ਕਹਾਂਗਾ ਕਿ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਿੱਖ ਧਰਮ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਤਾਂ ਫ੍ਰੀ ਬੀ ਵੱਲ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਲਿਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ, ਉਹ ਤਾਂ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਕਾਲ ਖਾਏ ਕਿ ਸੱਥੋਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਨਕ ਰਾਹ ਪਛਾਣੇ ਛੇ, ਉਹ ਤਾਂ ਇਹ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ, ਅਤੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਫ੍ਰੀ ਬੀ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਖੁਸ਼ ਹੋ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ। ਅਤੇ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਫ੍ਰੀ ਬੀ ਸਿਰਫ ਅਤੇ ਸਿਰਫ ਆਪਣੀ ਪਾਵਰ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਦੇ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ, ਪੰਜਾਬ ਲਈ ਕਰਨ ਲਈ ਕੁਝ ਨਹੀਂ ਦੇ ਰਹੀ। ਔਰ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੀਆਂ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸਾਰੀਆਂ
to be fair
to politicians and to be fair,
ਨਹੀਂ, I would like to say ਕਿ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੀ ਪੋਲੀਟੀਕਲ ਲੀਡਰਸ਼ਿਪ ਨੂੰ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ ਸੈਂਸਿਟਾਈਜ਼ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਹੈ, ਔਰ ਇਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਨੂੰ ਐਸਟੈਬਲਿਸ਼ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ। ਪੰਜਾਬ ਨੂੰ ਐਸਟੈਬਲਿਸ਼ ਕੌਣ ਕਰੇਗਾ?
Sir, last words.
ਇਹ ਵੀ I don't fully agree with him.
Okay.
ਕਿ ਫ੍ਰੀਵੀਜ਼ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਸੋ ਕਾਲਡ ਫ੍ਰੀਵੀਜ਼ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ, this also needs to be gone into a country which is as poor, dirt poor like India. You cannot abandon the poor.
Absolutely, you can't. The poor need help. It's not as if the poor don't need help.
Sorry to say,
and we are a welfare state.
ਮੈਂ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਇਹ ਗੱਲ, ਮੈਂ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਡਿਜ਼ਰਵਿੰਗ ਨੂੰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਫ੍ਰੀ ਵੀ ਦਿਓ, ਸਬਸਿਡੀ ਦਿਓ, ਪਰ ਅਨਡਿਜ਼ਰਵਿੰਗ ਨੂੰ ਨਾ ਦਿਓ, ਤਾਂ ਚੱਲਣਾ ਕੰਮ, ਨਹੀਂ ਤਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਚੱਲਣਾ।
Jyoti, the problem here is you are too dependent on the capacity of the state to be fair and to deliver welfare.
I think you have to diversify that capacity.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
you have to increase that capacity. You have to make the state not a kleptocrat,
right,
but a fair arbiter of disputes between different conflicting shareholders, stakeholders in an economy, in a state, in the country.
Okay. I'm afraid I have to leave it there. Sorry, Professor Ghuman, and thank you so much both for your time. I think Ruchika, my colleague, will be covering the Finance Commission, will continue to cover it as it now travels to Delhi. The Chief Minister and his colleagues, his cabinet, will be meeting people in Delhi over the next few days, and we will take this story forward. But I just want to say to all of you, dear viewer, that at the Tribune, we are trying to do the best and most interesting stories that we can, both in the print, in the newspaper, as you know, also in the Punjabi Tribune, as well as in the Hindi newspaper, the Dainik Tribune. So do follow us across social media, follow us on our social media handles, on Facebook, on Twitter, on X, and on Instagram. And tell us, write to us, give us feedback, tell us what you think. This discussion today on the problems in Punjab, or what some may call the great decline of Punjab, a state that's beloved of all of us. We are going to have lots of more discussions like this, but I'd like to thank you both, Professor Ghuman and Mr. Lakhanpal. Thank you so much for your time, and to you, Ruchika.
Thank you so much.
And thank you all for watching. Thank you.